In this video, I'd like to show you how to reclassify an image. And what I mean by that is right now we have an image that has 8 classes, tree canopy, all the way down to railroads here. So I can't remember, yeah, I repeat colors. So the roads and the railroads I'm showing in the same color. But the idea is that we have the possibility of showing 8 different things on this map. And what we're going to do when we reclassify is basically generalize and move from describing 8 different things to just describing basically 2 things. And so we're going to generalize our categories. And here's how we'll do it. So I'm going to copy the snippet and paste it in, and we're going to reclassify an image, make a binary image of the grasslands. And so the method that we're going to do here is we're now in images, and we're going to use this method called remap. There's a number of different ways to do this, but we're going to use remap for it. So if I cruise down here, there's a remap, maps from input values to output values, represent, I don't know, so for some reason, I don't know, I talked about this in lecture. We're going to go from old values to new values, and let's just do it. And it's going to take a list and another list, and that's all we really need to worry about. So I'm going to go, let's see, I'm going to look to see what I'm doing here, and I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to say dot remap, please. And I'm going to give it a parentheses. And what I find easiest is to put these on line, on a kind of another line. So the first thing we need to do is define our old values, and it's these 1 through 8. So I'm just going to make a list: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's probably the most rewarding thing you'll do in the lab if you do that really fast. It's kind of fun. It's like galloping on a horse, but without the adrenaline and the wind. And so then you have, these are the numbers, and I'm going to then say I want tree canopy to go to 0. So the idea, right, is that we want to kind of just identify places of open habitat. So we're going to say we want grass, bear, and water to be 1, and then everything else we want 0. So we're kind of selecting grass, bear, and water by making these guys 1, and everything else we're going to have go to 0. So what that means is that on my kind of 2 lists here, if it's tree canopy, I want it to go to 0. But if it's grass, bear, or water, it's going to be 1, right? That sounded a little bit Monty Python. And so you can break out the coconuts if you want, or just listen to my keyboard. But now we're going to go, is that fair? And so we've got, I think that's what we want. We're going to have 2, 3, 4 go to 1, everything else go to 0. And then it's upset about something, which I'm a little confused about. Right, so this is going to be equal to LC. As the night progresses, I probably will make more mistakes, but our input is the land cover image. We're going to remap it, old values, new values, and put it all into LC binary. Is that fair? And so if I then, let's go down here before it gets mad at us. If I say LC binary, and if you want to play it safe, just copy that and paste it in here, because spelling errors are always going to trip you up. And then we're going to say that this is now an image, so we're going to kind of define our viz parameters right here. Is that all right? If I say min is 0 and max is 1, right? Because the minimum value of our new values is 0 and the maximum value is 1. And then we could do a couple things here. If we want to just leave it black and white, the black and white is basically the default palette. Grayscale is the default. So if I don't even say a palette, we're going to get probably black for 0 and white for 1. So you want to try that? Let's do that. And this is going to be the kind of the open habitat binary. Is that okay? And then I'm going to say false. And let's go ahead and run it. And so let's see how we did. If it runs through it, and this is our land cover data set, and I'm going to zoom in here and look at anything, but if I look at this, we asked for grass and shrub and water to go to 1 and tree canopy to go to 0. And so does that look pretty good? That's land cover 1, land cover 1, sorry, remapped is 1, remapped is 0. Is that fair? And we're saying remapped here because that's the default name. If we wanted to rename this the open habitat binary, all one word, and hit run, then we are going to get this, right? Where tree canopy should now be open habitat binary 0. Here should now be 1. Is that fair? And it should kind of work out, and hopefully um, that looks good to you. And this is a little bit of an extra step, but it can be helpful to kind of rename the band so that when you use the inspector, it's a little bit less, it's a little bit more direct. Is that fair? So again, the other thing that I'm showing you here is that the projection is still going to be in EPSG 32145, and the binary here is got this one band. We named it, and a couple things you can see if you really want to nerd out, that here it's integers and you just have zeros and ones, whereas here you have an unsigned integer, and it doesn't actually tell you the data range there. It just here it's basically telling you that it only contains zeros and ones. Okay, and I think that's it. We just made a binary image with the remap. Let's keep going. Hit save and close her up.